Sparkle Squad, this is Monica and I have a few jewelry items to show you from this month's Happy Camper Treasure Box edition from my friends at PotomacBeads.com. The Happy Camper had a lot of stuff that I had left over. I did work with the cord, that nice beautiful rich brown cord, and I had a lot of the bead choices pulled out, but I just ran out of time. And look at all this that I've got. Now I pulled a couple of things out of a previous Potomac Beads box that I thought I might use. I was going to use this at one point. But there's still a ton of my goodies left over, including my cute little kitty cat. I'm so tickled with that. So I've got a lot more jewelry making to do, but I just wanted to show you there's a ton of product in these monthly boxes. So I mean, you could make all sorts of jewelry. One of my fellow jewelry makers, she created, I forget how many different sets in hers, and it's just amazing how you can, I mean, work with your stash or work with what's in the box. But as you can see, I have a bunch of stuff left from what's in the box and just go crazy with it. First up is my usual vein, I guess, of creating jewelry is just the standard bead stringing wire. So I used some of the Potomac's bead 7-strand bead stringing wire in order to put this bracelet together. This is on a gunmetal toggle clasp, so that is the loop, and this is the bar that just went through that loop, and it's just a floral design because I used some sunflower beads that I had in my stash that I thought coordinated well with all of the goodies from this month's box. So these little yellowish, blackish flower beads and all of these other cute little beads that just coordinated, I thought, very well. I also had some gunmetal rhinestone spacers that are on either side of my little sunflower bead there, and I thought that looked really cute. So this is the bracelet that I created. And then super fun earrings with those awesome yellow black flower caps. I don't know, these are just, I just love them, and I thought that they looked great with the sunflower beads. Now the sunflower beads didn't come in this box, they're just in my stash, but look how cute that coordinated so well with the bracelet. And I didn't do a necklace with this, so this is just the bracelet and the earrings, but that is one set of my jewelry. I created this beautiful set with a necklace, bracelet, and earrings using the Bead Tech cord that I had in that beautiful brown color. I did struggle a little bit with my sliding knots that I was trying to get reacclimated to, so I wound up cutting that off because it just didn't work out. And I have a tool coming that I ordered myself because I would like to get better at my knotting techniques. I do have a little knotting tool, but it's not something that is really where I want to go with the type of knotting that I'd like to experiment with a little bit more. And this just kind of inspired me. I'm gonna have to learn, you know, because it's not natural to me as far as being able to string on beading wire and stretch cord and things like you've seen me do a million times. But it is a touchy-feely style of jewelry making. It's very organic style in how it looks overall, and also the textures and the different types of things, the colors and all of that stuff. I don't know, I'm on the fence about my bracelet, guys. Now this is what I originally started to do with the sliding knots, and then I decided I didn't really like the sliding knot. But I did create a knotted clasp. So I've got that over a button. And I don't know if you remember seeing this. The button came a couple of boxes ago. And I just thought the colors looked amazing with the colors here in this box. Like the tiger blend. Let me see. I've got that here in the square bead frames. And I thought that button just looked great with that. I wanted to kind of weave that cord through the beads a little bit and make it look like vine. I wasn't originally intending to do that, and that's something that I do love about jewelry making, but especially when you're kind of experimenting too, is that I don't think there's any right or wrong way. If the ultimate end product is something that looks pretty cool, then, you know, to me, that's a win. I think it's my type A personality with my jewelry making, and well, anything really, that everything has to be in its place. Everything has to be neat. I like to have my wraps nice and tight. I don't like messy wraps. I'm not getting a level of perfection when I'm working with cord that I'm used to getting when I'm doing my beading wire or my artistic wire, like my wire wrapping, bead weaving, because there's all those patterns and all that stuff. I don't know, there's probably something to say about me in that, but the thing about this is it got me so far out of my comfort zone that it inspired me to want to get better at it. It's not a lose. I really enjoyed reinvestigating this kind of jewelry making technique and kind of fallen in love with the vine look of this, although it's a little messy. But it's got some sparkly elements, it's got some matted elements, it's got this beautiful organic look to it. I like that I did the leaves. I had to create some little wire wrapped bells for my leaves here because the holes in those beads go through the top and they're not this way, like running through the leaf. Originally I thought they were, and then I was like, it messed up my whole design, my original design, because that's the way I laid it on my board and everything. And then I'm like, no, I had to rework my design a little bit when I discovered that. It was pretty cool how it ultimately turned out. I was originally just going to make the bracelet, and then once I got the bracelet done, I was like, you know, I'm just going to make a necklace as well, because I still had these nugget slices left. Now, one of the nugget slices has a mark on one side, so I made that to be the back. It's got this gouge in the glass, so I wanted to put it on the back of that design. Now, it freely turns anyway, but the one side is okay, and when it's up against your skin, you don't really see that mark on the back. Something that's a little bit disappointing as far as trying to make something a focal piece, but I made it work because it doesn't create an overall problem with that stone, especially when it's laid up against skin, you can't tell it. Then I'm cool with that. So on the necklace, I just mimicked the same pattern, but I didn't do the weaving of the cord through here. I put the cord on the back, and then I used my clamshells in the rose gold color because I thought it just looked really good with that brown, to put a lobster style clasp and a split ring on the back, and created that necklace. I forget how long this necklace is. Let's see. So we got 11 and a half and 11, so that's 23 inches. Might even be like closer to 23 and a half, because see how I'm close, like kind of close up to this 12, but it's in the way that the beads are a little bit too wide in some spaces to lay into my tray. Between a 23 and a 24-ish necklace, and I thought that this really turned out pretty. Now this is more in the neat vein because you see how I've tied this off. It doesn't have any kind of knots that I'm worried about my spacing. I'm used to using these types of clasp and feeling secure in the clasp versus not tying. I love the overall look because I put the cord on the back and I did not weave this around the beadwork like I did in the bracelet. It's a little bit different while still being the same. I also included the cord in my drop earrings here. This is something that I struggled a little bit with too as far as the overall design, but I was able to incorporate the cord here like miniature tassels with the leaves, and that pulled the leaves and everything together along with the cord from the bracelet and the necklace. And then it's just like a really cool looking dangle earring. And the only issue that I have with it is because of how I did the tassel with these little leaves. It just depends on how you want it to face. If you want it front facing, then it's fine. It'll do that. But if you are at all skewed in how you put this in, or if maybe you're going to go to the club or something, it'll move this leaf around. So here are my jewelry pieces for the month of September 2023. From the Happy Camper treasure box from my friends at Potomac Beads. And I loved making the jewelry. It was a little bit of a struggle on my little vine design over here, but ultimately I love how it turned out. It was really cool to tie in those leaves, even though they did not turn the direction I originally thought they would. I think ultimately I like this overall better than the way that I originally had it laid out. Now it moves around a little bit because of the nature of how cord is versus a wrapped artistic wire, like the artistic wire that I use in some of my other designs, where the wire would stay put, but the cord doesn't necessarily do that because it is an organic material that just kind of moves around whenever it's pushed, or like when you're taking the bracelet off and putting it on and all that kind of stuff. So thank you again to Potomac Beads for my Happy Camper treasure box. I'm looking forward to getting back in here and making even more jewelry. I hope you've enjoyed the video and my designs here. What do you think? The messy vine look going all through the beads, or do you like the more neat looking design that I have in the necklace here? What's your preference? If you're not familiar, they have the Best Bead Box and Best Bead Box XL the way they used to in the past, but this is now the Best Bead Box Treasure Box Edition, where you get kind of a mishmash of beads, and sometimes it might be in a theme and other times it's not. Or the Best Bead Box XL, which is now the kit edition, which has 3 to sometimes 4 maybe kits where you can make a bracelet or a pendant, or you know, certain types of designs in a kit. I really like this because it challenges me. It also gives me some materials that I normally would not work with, and I keep saying that over and over again. But as a jewelry maker, you know, you kind of get in a rut and you kind of do things that are safe. And I like those times where I make a mistake and then I wind up liking the mistake that I made better than what design I originally had put together. So if you like this video, please give me a thumbs up and share this with any of your jewelry making friends that might be interested in Potomac beads, beading supplies. I would appreciate that. And if you've not already done so, please subscribe to my channel. And as always, thank you all so much for watching. I really do appreciate each and every one of you. And have a sparkle-rific day, y'all.